1st and 10 with 33 seconds left. Fakes the handoff, throws it to Tate, trying to get him in open space. He's got room, 40, and he fumbles the football, and it's recovered by the Karr Cougars. Kendall Johnson recovers it at the 30, and this game is over.
Coach, how hard is it for you to it's August, just about August. Do you still think about that semifinals game?
We've talked about it a lot through the spring and the summer. Once we start camp, it's everybody's 0-0. It's everyone has a completely different team this year, so we're just gonna take it day by day and see what happens.
Coach, you lose some big time players. Big bubble gums going on defense. Damian Tate, the Elementary Defensive Player of the Year. You lose Sticks Jones, you lose Johannes Tyler, but this team, to lose all that talent, but to come back and to be as talented as you are, is really kind of crazy.
It is crazy. You can't replace those guys, and we wish we had them, but we're not trying to replace them. Hopefully these kids we have now, they make a name for themselves. That's the game plan, but we have a few guys coming back with Lance, quarterback Lance Lejeune, Chester Kimbrough. He's okay. He's okay.
Play a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Being pressured, got to roll out of pressure, gets out of it. Now he's going to try to do it with his feet. He's got a first down. He's at the 35. He's at the 40. He's at midfield. He's pushed out of bounds there. Lance Lejeune. Lejeune calls for the football, takes it, running up to the left side, he's through a hole, he's got a first down, he's got more, 25, kiss him goodbye, touchdown, he got it anyway. Warren Easton, Lance Lejeune, 31 yards.
Chester Kimbrough on defense, who's been putting in so much work, man. He's just ready, ready to play this year.
Perry takes it, looking to throw, got time, does. Throwing it deep, he's got a man open, and he throws it a little bit short. Picked off at the 35-yard line of Easton by Chester Kimbrough.
Ashad Clayton, who's our running back, I have him for 2 more years.
Yeah.
So, that's a blessing. He's finally ready to come out the gate firing. They've been working hard all summer in the weight room, training, conditioning, and those guys, they just ready to play some ball.
Let's talk about Lance specifically because, we joke about he can play a little bit, but, John Emery just signed with Georgia the other day, and I think Lance Lejeune, to me, and no disrespect to John Emery whatsoever, and, Destrehan's obviously in our top 5, but I think Lance Lejeune is the most dynamic player in the metro area, and for those people who haven't seen him play, they need to find one of your 10 games or one of your 3, 4, 5 postseason games and come out and see that kid play because he can make things happen.
Yeah, he makes it happen. I hope he does it again this year, and I hope you're right about it. He's been working hard this summer. He's playing with a chip on his shoulder now.
Yeah.
He finally figured it out. It's his senior year. This is his last go round.
Yeah.
So he wants to do well for the team. He's been working a lot with my quarterback coach Munchie Lego, and
well, there you go.
They're inseparable, and hopefully they put it together. They've been doing real well, and he's getting more cerebral. We know he can do the physical part of the game. Everyone knows that.
Right.
Once he learned the game of football and become a real student of the game, which he's been doing all summer, I think he's going to be okay.
Coach, watching as he split time in his sophomore year to just basically taking over this team and the intellectual growth in that kid, just from his sophomore year to his junior year, the sky's the limit this year.
And at the end of the day, man, they're teenagers. People have to understand that these kids are not NFL getting millions of dollars.
Right.
They deal with several problems and issues outside of football.
Yeah.
But he has gotten better. And I attribute that to my offense coordinator, who is Munchie Lego now, and his quarterback coach, because he played that position, and they're kind of similar kids coming from similar situations.
Yeah.
And Munchie's real young, so he's able to, talk with him back and forth. So it's, he's just matured a lot, and I think this year is going to be his breakout season. Even though he's real good, but we cutting down on the mistakes. The issues he had in the past was he felt like he had to do everything.
Yeah.
That's why you would see him scrambling and just trying to make that big play. And now he's trusting his guys more. He's trusting the system more, and he's going to be a lot more calm in the pocket, and he's going to let the ball rip.
Coach, the rest of your offense, let's talk about it in Shady Clayton, who is another dynamic player. If he gets through a hole and he sees green, well, you might as well put the 6 on the board. But, you know, just talk about overall, not just Shady, but just some of the other kids that we're going to be looking for on offense.
Yeah, offensively, I don't want to say we're young at receiver, but we have a lot of guys, older guys, but they don't have that much experience actually playing time. So their playing experience is kind of young. In the backfield, we have a Shad Clayton, you know, who's going to touch the ball a lot this game. But we also have DeWitt Johnson, who's the senior running back. So we're going to be a real run-heavy team this year, which is going to be surprising to some people.
I believe it when I see it.
Right. Offensive line-wise, we're bringing back Caleb Etienne, who's he's huge.
Yeah.
Cedric Van Pren, who's also, you know, one of our top guys. And we have the right pieces and parts, man, to get it done this year. You know, we have a good mixture of young kids and older guys, and, you know, hopefully we can put it all together this year.
Talk about some of your receivers. You lose Johans and Sticks, and how do you replace those guys? And Johans, I mean, another thing we talked about, I mean, Johans made a catch in the state championship, in the semifinal game that I thought would have been, if it would have been made in the NFL, would have clearly been on ESPN's top 10.
Yeah.
How do you replace?
It actually made You Got Moss on Sports Center.
Really?
And in motion from right to left, Sticks Jones. Take the handoff to Barabino. Going deep for a man out in the right corner of the end zone. And
he caught it.
Oh, my goodness. What a catch. Touchdown. I believe that's Johans Tyler in the back right corner of the end zone.
But like I said, you can't replace those kids. Johan, you know, was with us for 3 years. Sticks was with us for 4 years, you know, and you can't replace that experience. The younger guys we have is Jewel Holmes, who's going to be a real good receiver for us. He's probably going to be our go-to guy. We have Contrell Boyd, who's a senior, small guy, but
he got some playing time.
He got a lot of playing time. He's not scared of anything, you know, which is good. We have Kaheem Green, who was one of our team captains last year. Feisty receiver, does it all, you know, keeps the morale up with the team. We have Casey Kane, who is going to be a sophomore this year. You know, he played a little last year. He's finally starting to figure it out. We also have a guy, Frederick Stamps, who was a basketball player last year.
Yeah.
You know, so he's going to be more like our H-back, you know, big body type guy,
right.
Tight end type guy. So receiver core, and plus I feel as though, you know, a lot of people argue with me, but I feel as though I have the best wide receiver coach in the state, you know, and Jeremy Ledlow, and he proves it every year, you know. Yeah. Every year his product that he puts on the field is a top product in the state, you know. So by the time we come out of camp, those guys will be ready. I have no doubt he's going to have those guys ready.
I'm sure Lance will find them. Let's talk about defense, and you know, most of the time I start up front, but you know, I really do want to start in the back because I want to talk about Chester Kimbrough, who is one of the, you know, we talk about one of the tops when we talk about Easton, but he really is one of the top defensive backs around.
Yeah, Chester's, man, he's the perfect, you know, and I hate to use that, I don't like to use that term, but he's kind of like the perfect kid, man. He's real humble. He's a yes sir, no sir, does whatever you ask him to do. But once he gets on the field, you know, he's ready to play ball. Yeah. Technician, you know, he takes his craft real serious, and he's another one that's playing with a chip on his shoulder, you know, because he did, you know, give up that touchdown, that winning touchdown again in a semifinal game. So he's real upset about that. So he's been working hard all summer and all spring. I have Jamal Sam, who's come along. And we move him all around the secondary. Yeah. He plays corner, free safety, and he's just one of those wildcats. We put him in a box because he'll run through a brick wall. We have Dylan DeQueer, who's our other cornerback. He's a 6'3" kid, long track guy. He played some last year. So we're going to be pretty good on the back end.
Up front, you lose a kid that one of the biggest kids I've ever seen play football, and Bubblegum Holmes, and What do you have up front to you can't replace a kid like that?
No.
But what do you have up front?
No, can't replace Bubblegum. We actually lost one of our starting D linemen. He knee injury in the spring game,
okay.
So he's going to be out maybe 6 weeks.
And who's that?
That is a young guy. He's going to be a 10th grader, Sidney Humble.
Okay.
We have Jacob Parker coming back, who is probably my favorite guy on the team. You know, I'm putting him in number 1 this year, and you know, if you know me, not anyone wears that number 1 here. We have now Vincent. He played some last year, but he's gonna play a lot. He's a starter this year, but at the end of the day, you can't replace Bubblegum.
Right.
You can't replace him at all.
You can put 2 kids together and sew his jersey around them. And
Yeah, I know. We got some young guys, you know.
What about linebacker?
Linebacker, that's another one. I in the spring, I lost my starting linebacker. He ruptured his Achilles. So his thing is he's trying to that's Jason Allen. He's trying to motivate his teammates to go deep in the playoffs so he can at least suit up for one game in his senior year.
Yeah.
You know, which is hard because the kid works real hard.
Yeah.
I have Joshua Williams, who's a returning starter at my middle linebacker. He's gonna anchor the defense, make all the calls. He knows that I'm hard on my middle linebacker.
Right.
That's the position that I played.
Right.
So he understands what it takes and what it's going to take for me, and I'm going to be on it.
Talk about your schedule a little bit, and
I feel that the best competition is in New Orleans, in Louisiana, and I feel Louisiana has the best football. So we want to play all of the good teams in New Orleans.
Definitely
You know, definitely for it. And we want to play all the good teams in New Orleans. You know, we fall scrimmage is John Eric, who's loaded.
Yeah, right.
Jamboree is St. All, who's loaded. We have Jesuit, Brother Martin, you know, who are well-coached teams, you know, Coach Bonice and Coach Sanji. Coach Powell is week 3 at Landry Walker,
right?
You know, former state champion, you know, 2 years ago, and they always put a great product on the field, you know. And of course, John Curtis in week 5 before we get to district, and it's just, you know, our schedule is loaded, you know. Well, our other pre-district game is 35,
right? Yeah, but
you know, so I mean, we go and play. That's the only way to tell who your team is.
Well, when you talk about your district, we all know who is on the other side. We all know who the big foe is, and your friend Bryce Brown will be there waiting for you, I'm sure. And you know, that's the one that the last few years, that's the one I look forward to seeing. And I know that you think that, you know, you guys know each other so well, and your teams know each other so well.
Yeah, well, we don't know them well enough, you know, these past couple of years. But now Bryce has done a tremendous job over that Karr, you know, and he's carrying on that Karr tradition and that, you know, that legacy. But it's going to be a good game. Like I said, we focusing on one at a time.
You can't look at week 10.
No, indeed. No, we're not worried about week 10. We just worry about getting through the day, you know. And I tell my kids, one play at a time, one series at a time, one quarter at a time, one game at a time. If you win your play every time, it's going to take care of itself, man.
No matter what happens this year, can we get y'all on different sides of the bracket this year?
That's not up to me, you know. Well, you're trying to open something up, man, you know. But
I hear it from both sides all year long.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, however the point system works out, man, you just have to win the game, you know. I wouldn't call it a rivalry. It's not a rivalry because
it is to the rest of us.
Yeah, but I mean, oh yeah, we love the game. We love playing the game, but I don't consider it a rivalry. A rivalry is when, you know, the record against each other is like 5-5 or 5-6.
Is that a rivalry in your head when it's your alma mater?
No, not at all. It's you know, I mean, I want to win every game. It doesn't matter who it is, you know.
That one's not more special to you than that?
No. Honestly, everyone is special to me, man.
You're going to coach in the NFL one day, Coach. You got it down.
No. No, man. I mean, they're all special to me, man, you know, because you never know how long you're going to be doing it. But I just take next game at a time, man, and let the chips fall with it, man.
Coach, what do you have to have when the season's over?
As a man, after this season is over, all my seniors have a 4.0.
That's a good one.
That's what I'm looking for. All my seniors, continue the tradition of 100% graduation rate. Now, as a football coach, of course, I want that state championship, but football is just a small part of it, man. I want my kids to be successful.
These are your kids.
These are my kids. Yeah, these are my kids.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It feels good, man. I'm living my dream. I honestly am. I'm living my dream.
Warren Easton coach Jerry Phillips, thanks for joining us.
All right.